All right. Welcome to a brand new episode, brand new week of CHEESTAKE. We are back. It's Tuesday. It's been a minute since we did a Tuesday. Had a lot of things going on. We've been jumping on Thursdays, but we back on Tuesday, doing our thing. Got the crew in the house. King Fish, Roy J, Damon and Datron. They got a couple things they got going on as well. But get the fam, got the crew, do what we do. Get ready to take it up a notch, do some other things as well, so we can keep y'all posted with that. You know what I mean? And thank you all the support, everybody that tuned in, everybody that watched, everybody that subscribed to the channels and all that. So definitely love you guys, man. We thank you all for watching and everything. Thank you for my family right here, my brothers for taking time out their schedule to jump on here with me, and don't take that for granted. And so first and foremost, always gonna give honor to God. Without God, I'm nothing. And my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. This ain't no game. I live this. You know what I mean? This is not. People. This ain't no rapper. Where you done been in the back. Had a couple of hoes in the back, and then they come on stage. I'm gonna give big ups to the Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, God. The Lord had nothing to do with what you were doing backstage, bro. So
he was trying to appreciate the creation.
Apparently so. He figured Adam had Eve, so I can go ahead and get me this girl back here. So, definitely want to give God all the glory for waking us up this morning, our health, strength, the ability to do this. So we don't take this for granted. And so, what we're going to talk about tonight, like Chris and I was kind of talking about some stuff earlier, and Jay, your book is talking about purpose, and there it is, moving past your pain. That's the new joint, and that's a very powerful book, and that's a very powerful statement, and we're gonna do a whole show on that, and I think we're gonna line that up for either next Tuesday or this Thursday, but I'll get with you, Jay, recording. We're gonna do that, and we're gonna talk about the topic of the book and how it correlates for a lot of people. You know what I mean? And that's what we're gonna be doing. Because tonight's gonna be a little segue into that. What we're talking about tonight, y'all, is actually your not just your purpose. Or what is your purpose? How do you get to your purpose? Right? Because that's the thing for a lot of people, man. A lot of people ask that question, right? What is my purpose, God? And a lot of people are not in their purpose, right? They don't know exactly where to go with it. They don't know where to start. They got a lot more questions than answers. So, what do you do from that? So what I'm going to do, first, man, I'm going to play a little video clip. We're going to put it out here. I don't own any rights to the videos or anything like that. I'm going to play one of my favorite clips that answered a lot for me. So I'm going to play that, and then hold on, what's your screen? Yeah, play that right there, and then we go from there. All right, hold on, put it up here, and y'all can hear it, right? Hold on, can y'all see that?
Absolute best with the least amount of effort. That's your gift. Quit running away from the gift. Your gift will make room for you. Stop trying to be something you ain't gifted at. Nobody asked you to go down here and study to be a dentist, and you ain't really good at that. Quit going down to the church trying to sing. You can't sing. Now, just because they let you sing at the church, you're not finna, ain't nobody else finna go with this. Because, come as you are, the Lord loveth a cheerful giver, all that. We don't apply scriptures out here. You come to the Apollo and you can't sing, we got something for your ass up there. All of you have identified. It's the thing that you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. That's what you should be doing. You're wasting your time pursuing your passion. The Bible does not mention passion. It mentions your gift. What are you gifted at, and do that? Stop tripping. You can do that. If you fry chicken better than everybody you ought to be somewhere frying chicken. People make millions of dollars frying chicken. Popeyes. Kentucky Fried Chicken, El Pollo Loco. All they doing is making chicken. They just found a way to do it. Somebody just started making chicken. You know the story of Marie Callender's? Do you know what this woman did, man? She worked for a diner, a greasy spoon diner that was going out of business. It was her only job. She was a single mother. It was her only job. She needed that job, but the diner was going to close. So she went to the owner of the diner and said, let me bake one of my pies. People like my pies, and see if I can help you make a little money. He said, whatever, bring it in. She bought one pie in. They sold every slice. The next day, the people came in and asked for the pie. She had to go home and make another pie. The next day, so many people asked for the pie, she had to make 4 pies. Then people started saying, can I buy my own pie? She made so many pies at this store that she eventually saved her money and put a commercial oven in her house. Now, she done made so many pies, the dude's shop, he ain't selling hamburger no more. All he's selling is them damn pies. That's how Marie Callender got started. Marie Callender now has over 120 restaurants. You can't go to no frozen food section without seeing Marie Callender in there. You know what she started with? A pie. One pie. The dude that, when I had hair, when I had that world famous lining with that box cut, when I was Steve Hightower, Kings of Comedy, when I had that hair, the dude that cut my hair, I met him in 1986. He cut my hair for $10. I remembered him. When I got on TV, I had hired. He came out there, he started making $300 a haircut. I paid him 10. He had been with me so many years that he was making $1,500 per haircut. I was getting my hair cut 4 times a week for television and touring. I paid him $1,500 each time. He was making $6,000 a week. You know what he was doing? Cutting hair. That same haircut I paid $10 for in '87. This dude was cutting it now for me for $1,500.
Right.
I cut my hair off. We had to put him on suicide watch for a little while. But then let me tell you what he did. I paid him a chunk of money for being with me all these years, gave him a severance pay, told him good luck. Guess what this dude got now? He got 4 salons and he owned 2 barber colleges. You know what this dude make now? $3.6 million a year. You know what he do? He cut hair. He cut hair. He don't do nothing else. That's his gift. Friend of mine we grew up with. All he did was cut grass. He had a single blade lawnmower that he pushed. He was so good at it, he could raise the blades up and lower them. He could cut patterns in your grass. We little, I'm going, hey man, we going swimming. Now I got to cut Miss Jackson grass. He could cut patterns in your yard. He could put your initials in your grass as a little boy. $2 for the front, $2 for the back, $4. We used to laugh at him all the time. Well, let me tell you what we laughing at now. He got a landscaping company in Cleveland. You know how much this boy making? $4 million a year. You know what he do? He cut grass. He got 38 trucks. He got all the contracts in the city, malls, corporations. And when it snow outside, he do such a good job cutting the grass, he put plows on the front of his trucks, and he got all the snow removal contracts. This boy making $4 million a year, and you know what he do? He cut grass.
All right, so there it is, you know, and I wanted everybody to, first of all, you know, I didn't put a little disclaimer up there, but we do not own the rights to the video and anything like that. So we'll go ahead and put that out there first and foremost. But the most important thing about this video and what we're talking about tonight is, you know, your purpose, right? How do you get to your purpose, right? How do you find the purpose? You know? And he's right. It's not your passion, but your passion is connected really and truly to your purpose, right? If you have a passion if you have a passion for cooking, like you were saying, I mean, Marie Callender had a passion to make pie. Well, she had a passion to bake. You know what I mean? That was her thing. She has a passion to do something. So whatever it is that you're passionate about, your gift is attached to that. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. And a lot of times we need to spend the time trying to figure out what that is first and foremost. And I think a lot of times, man, we move too fast, right? Because you get older, you realize, your clock is ticking. So you
Right.
at this job for 10 years, you had this job for 5 years, you in this career for so many years, and you ready to go from 0 to 1,000 because you're like, I'm ready, right?
Mhm.
But the truth is, what is your passion that is attached to your gift? And that's the most important thing, man. And I think that's what's important for anybody that's listening, by watching. What is it that you're passionate at? And how do you get from 0 to 1,000? Right? You have to transition. And I think that's important. A lot of people don't understand the power of transitioning in life, right? Because you just can't go leave your job and go be like, when you was younger, you could probably pull some move like that, right? But you got bills to pay. You got mortgage and rent and car note and insurance and all that other stuff. You see what I'm saying? So you just can't up and leave. So you have to have the power of transition. Okay, Lord, how do I transition here? Right? And what I'm seeing with them stories, I'm gonna give you another quick story and I'll pass it on to you guys. Miles Monroe told this one. Okay, and I have to try and find it, but I couldn't find the video. But he said a lady at his church had came up to him and said she's getting ready to get laid off at her job. And she didn't know what to do. So she came to the church to get some help. So she's thinking she's gonna get some help financially. Miles Monroe tells her, them cookies you always make, the real good ones I like, you need to go ahead and make some of them cookies and then give them to your coworkers before you leave. And so she was upset and kind of confused. She was like, what you talking about? I really ain't got no set of money to be baking people cookies and stuff. I'm trying to come to the church for help. He was like, go bake them cookies and go to your job and give it to them. Not sell it to them, give it to them. She's like, how's that going to help me? He's like, just go do it and then come back and talk to me. So she goes back to work right before she leaves, like a parting gift. She getting ready to get laid off. She bakes everybody cookies. Made like a little batch. So she made little batches of cookies. And so you might get a little batch. I have 3-4 for you and 3-4 for the next person. A week later, somebody from the job calls her and says, hey, them cookies you made, can you make some? How much you charge to make some of that? I got a baby shower or something that I got to go to. Somebody else called from the job. I got this Christmas party I got to go to. Is there any way you make a batch of them cookies for me? How much you charge? Then her manager said they have a company function and they wanted her to make some cookies. So she started baking all these different things and started baking for them. So now she became like a sponsor. So whenever they have any kind of corporate events, if they need any kind of desserts and stuff, they came to her. So she took that and started her own business from there. Right? Just on Marie Calendar. It took the guy's diner to be going down before she was like, well, I got these pies over here that I make. The purpose of me saying all that is that we have to get to a place in life where we can't always wait until you about to get laid off from your job.
Yep.
The diner about to close. The house about to be burned down. You about to be foreclosed. You about to be laid off. You about to be, before the fire is lit up under you, to say, you know what, Lord, what does I got to do now? You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like that's where a lot of people are. We always got to wait till something go down that's drastic in our lives to do that. We do it in relationships. We do it in friendships. We do it in every area in our lives. There are people that you should have been cut off in your life. Been cut off. And bring no value at this point. They still doing the same crazy stuff when y'all was kids and all this other stuff. There are people you have history with. But we don't do that stuff. We wait till something pop off, something go down, something happen, and then we want to be like, what do I do? And how do I do this? You get what I'm saying? So that was really that what I got from that video is what we're talking about tonight. And then but y'all can go ahead and jump in, tell me what you think based on everything that we've been talking about, what you see when it comes to purpose, comes to passion, your gift. What do you want to let people know about how? Tell me give me your take on it. Is anyone
Well,
y'all?
I know a lot of people who are passionate about certain things, whether that's they're passionate about sports, they're passionate about um, cooking, baking, they're passionate about, as Steve said, passionate about singing. But really, in reality, they're not good at those different things.
Right.
Um, so that may not be their purpose. A lot of times, what I realize that a lot of people want to do a lot of things, but they are really doing things based off what they see somebody else doing.
Right.
Um,
Right.
reason,
That's a good
reason,
point. They see somebody
reason.
else successful with it.
Yeah, and,
Right.
and and the reason I say that is because when I was in school, undergrad, me and Chi went to the same school, Auburn.
Hmm.
So I remember I was majoring in physical education at first, and basically, during that time of me majoring in physical education, I was going through different courses like kinesiology, just all those different courses. And the reason
Right.
I was majoring in that because I saw my older brother, majored in that when he played collegiate football, and I was trying to follow in his footsteps. And then eventually, I realized that that's not what I wanted to do. And then that's when I
Right.
realized what I actually was good at and I was passionate about. And then later on in life, after I received my degree and began to work in the industry, and then
Hmm.
currently what I'm doing now is teaching that same thing, which basically that's how me and Chi met in college in the studio. I was majoring in mass communication,
Right.
radio, TV, and film. And
Right.
that's when I figure out what my passion was and even what my purpose was during that time and even currently right now, which is basically helping other young people become a better individual when it comes down to film and production overall. But overall, even with the passion and the purpose, that's basically how I found my purpose outside of ministry, which is basically a production. And then later on in life, I realized what my other purpose was, which is basically empowering and helping people figure out what their God given purpose is in life. And um, that's what I'm currently doing right now. So I'll say it goes both ways, hand in hand. A lot of people are passionate about certain things, but that's not their purpose. On the flip
Right.
side, people can be passionate about something, and that's their purpose. So it goes both ways.
Right.
Right. And yeah, go ahead, Chris.
No. You go. You go.
No,
Say
no.
what you was gonna say.
All I was gonna say is that is we got to tell how do you decipher that, right? Because the very thing that you're good at doing, the very thing that you are passionate about, right? You got to decipher that because if you're passionate about something, you're going to put your energy there, and it's hard to pull
Right.
back to say, you know what, man, I'm not really good at this, right? But like Jay was saying, a lot of times we don't really realize where do we get this passion for something. Is it
Right.
something that you really just had, or you saw somebody have it? There are people who there are a lot of people who want to be wealthy, right? A lot of people who want a lot of money, but they haven't prepared themselves for that. You see what I'm saying? That they don't know what it takes to not just see getting rich, getting wealthy is one thing. To sustain it is something else. You got to have a different mindset to do that. That's why they give what's the statistics on people who win the lottery? Like how you win the lottery and then 10 years later you're broke. You know what I'm saying? You don't make more
Yeah.
money than you
Yeah.
made your lifetime. But if you haven't prepared yourself for that. So I think preparation, especially mentally first. So in this stage in your life, if you're not where you want to be yet and you have a passion for something, first of all, you have to say whether are you good at that, right? Even though you may
Yeah.
like it, are you good at that? If you're not good at it, it's okay. You can still like it. That ain't your purpose and that is not your calling. Go to the
Right.
next thing you like. You can like more than one thing. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. You can like 20 things. Well, find the thing that you're good at, go with that, and then you start preparing yourself mentally for it. I see people don't do that when it comes to, there are people who say they want to be married. They don't prepare themselves for marriage, right? You don't prepare you. Are you trying to fix your credit, right? Are you trying to get out of debt? Are you trying to at least decrease it at least? Let's say you can't get it all out of debt, but can you at least decrease some of that debt that you have before you go get a husband or a wife? You see what I'm saying? Are you prepared to be out here and be committed to just one person? You know what I'm saying? Like if you ain't never really committed yourself to one person like that, marriage is not for you. I mean, tell you, you know what I mean? So it's just these are different. Yeah, these are things in life, man. If you ain't got if you don't understand the psychology of it, then you're gonna miss it. And you're gonna be stuck at this job for so many years. And then what happens is we get older, and y'all could attest to this. You find your place, man, where you find this, the day-to-day just kind of get you're not where you're supposed to be, right? It's like it's that saying I heard, I think it was Instagram, but it was very powerful. They said, how do whales die? They drown, right?
They start moving.
Right. They drown because why? They come up for air and water. They live in water. They don't have gills like fish. They have lungs. So they're really outside their whole element. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of times we like that at these jobs. You outside your element. You ain't supposed to even be at them jobs. You know what I'm saying? You ain't supposed to be doing some of these things. But you never transition. We never just get like, you know what, man, let me, Marie Calendar all I'm saying is the Marie Calendar story, the lady that had the cookies. Why we always got to wait till you about to get laid off or fired from a job? Why don't you make one pie and bring it into the office? Marie Calendar could take one pie, bring it to the diner, and say, hey, can you taste this for me real quick? Tell me what you think. He'd be like, okay, yeah, put that for the dessert while I make these burgers. She could have burned them cookies in and be like, hey, and all of a sudden, boom. So I'm saying is we don't have to wait because as you get older, y'all, let's be real, like time is of the essence. You can't afford to fail certain things. Let's just be real. You just don't have the time for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, later in life, you'll end up just going along with it, just to get by. You know what I mean? Well, it's too late. It's too late for this, or it's too late for that. I can't change. I can't. And it's not the fact. You know what I mean? It's not. You're not being true to yourself. You're just being lazy and not wanting to go ahead and go through something. You have more at a younger age. You have more courage to do things. Younger, like you said, life happens, bills happen, things happen. As you get older, you feel like you have more to lose. I don't think that's the case. I don't think that as you get older, you have more to lose. I think you have more to lose as a younger person because you can mess around and get caught up in something and just be wasting time and not really. Life is going on, things are happening, and then all of a sudden here, all this other stuff is getting piled on. And instead of tapping into something that you were really great at a younger age to end up by this time when you get our age is like an afterthought. It's something that comes so easy that is.
But do you think?
Nothing.
Let me ask you a question. Chris. Do you think that, like you say, you think people have more to lose when you're younger? Do you think as you get older, you don't think people at this stage, people in their late 30s and 40s, who haven't done anything, right, or just kind of got a job, working, going through day to day? Most of us got coworkers. And you can hear it. You know what I mean? They've been at a job for 10 years, 15 years. They've been bouncing around. I think, you know what I mean? Tell me what you think. But I think also that to me is more dangerous. If I make mistakes, I'm in my 20s. You know what I'm saying? Even if I fool around, I don't find my purpose or I don't do a whole lot of things in my 20s. The bounce back ability is a lot stronger because I'm in my 20s. I'm still young. I'm still figuring some things out. I can do that. I can't do what I do in my 20s when I hit my 40s. You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
it's the ball
I
game.
get what I get what you're saying, but the reason why I'm saying that is because when you're younger, like I said, you have less fear about certain things.
Right.
When you're older, you got the fear done already set in because you done accumulated so much stuff,
To my
so many things.
life. Right.
But at the same time, you spent so many years not doing the thing that you want to do, but watching other people do the things that they wanted to do.
Right. Right.
So you're sitting there and you're learning the whole time. You don't even realize that you're learning certain things.
Or resenting too, because you can watch somebody do something you
And
hate.
resenting.
Right.
The only thing that you did not learn is to be able to go ahead and just step out
Right.
on faith. And a lot of times it's once again it's just the thing of, well, I'm 40 now, you know. What's the use of me trying to do that now, you know? But you still got to think about it, like, man, you 40, you ain't dead.
Yeah.
You still got some good time. You know what I mean? Whatever time you got left on this earth, because none of us know when we're gonna go.
Right.
It's just
Remember
about
Colonel
how.
Sanders. Yeah. Colonel
Yeah,
Sanders started when he did. He didn't start the franchise. He was 65. That's
right.
retirement age.
You know what I mean? And what he been doing all them times? He been eating somebody chicken. He been figuring it out.
But you know, a lot of people. First, let me say this. Then I'll say what I'm about to get ready to say. Picking back off what Chris just said about when you hit 40 and up. I remember a pastor said that it doesn't matter about if you're older or whatnot. If you're alive, you still have a purpose in life.
Yeah,
And you know, a lot of times people think just because they older, you know, life is over with. Like Chris said, you're alive. You got breath in your body. You
yeah,
still have to live, and you still have a purpose in life. And when I heard that from this particular pastor, I was like, I never thought of it that way. And then that's when
mhm,
I began to just pour into people saying the same thing, um, by quoting what this particular pastor has said. And I know, just by interacting with a lot of people, especially older parishioners who come to church, whether if it's church where I serve at or other churches as well, they tend to think just because they're up in age that they done it all. I mean, you still have breath in your body. You still got more to live for.
Right.
Um,
you
life is
still
not over.
got you still have a lot to learn.
Yeah.
You still
It,
have a lot to
it,
learn.
but it's
And that's the beautiful side of that. You still have a lot to learn.
Mhm.
Are you going to be the type of person who's going to be able to sit there and realize that, man, it's still part of my potential that I haven't tapped into. I
and
still have something out there.
yeah.
And and to take it a little further, if we could just put that comment back on the screen for what someone just said.
Chrissy just put, yeah. Chrissy
Chris
put
said, that midlife crisis is real when you don't have the right mindset, still trying
Man,
to figure out your purpose.
I've been in a midlife crisis since I was 20. And the reason why I can say that, man, because I'm not gonna lie to you. I did not believe I was gonna be here. I really didn't. I really didn't. I hit certain things at a young age, and I know there's a lot of people out there that probably went through a lot of things that I did, as far as mental, spiritual, all that thing going on, to where a lot of time you just go along and get along, and
Right. Right.
you never tap into anything because it's just it's another day. You wake up every day and choose whether or not you gonna go to work today. Am I going? What we gonna cook today? What's what I mean? That's the
Right.
thing
Right.
that you wake up and you look forward to.
Right. Right.
And that is not a I want to say like a prosperous life. That's really not.
Right.
When you've had something that you maybe love to do or you're very, very good at, and you were either afraid or just didn't make the time to tap into it. And a lot of people just don't know.
Yeah, and let me add on to what you're saying, man, because one of the things I kind of figure, man, is that, man, we need to uplift each other, man, and encourage certain gifts and talents and stop always casting them down. I remember when, like I look at this generation now, man, and they like gaming is like $1 billion industry.
Yeah.
And I remember like when we was growing up gaming, it was looked upon horribly. Like you need to get your, and it's not balanced, you know what I mean, like getting your schoolwork done and stuff. But it wasn't nobody tapped in.
Get your life together. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Nobody tapped in and said, okay, you know what? You can get into IT, electronics, the building software, taking them games. Like they do, they're gamers now who make more money than their parents. And they take it a whole nother industry with that. But nobody saw that and said, you know what? You need to do something with that in a good way. You know what I mean? Like I knew, even for myself, growing up, and I had like my classmates and other people would say, Chi, man, you talk a lot, right? But nobody said, you know what, man, you need to go ahead and get into radio. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You need to go, let me help you out get into television. Let me help you go do this. You know what I'm saying? Or like you said, Marie Callender baking and lay with the cookies. Nobody says, you know what? But Marie, like, why don't you get a food truck? You know what I'm saying? Why don't you do? And I just feel like the middle life crisis thing is real because it's like we have these gifts and we have this passion that's built in with this one gift that we're just great at. But nobody, and if you realize Marie Callender, it took the guy at the diner and it took other people around to eat the pie for her to say, oh, okay, man, I love this pie. Let me pay you. Right? Yeah. It took the lady with the cookies for the Miles Monroe story I just told. It took her coworkers to eat the cookies and be like, oh, I love these cookies. Let me get some more from you. So how much more would it be if we have somebody in our lives, people who've been around us, people who know us, whether they your parents or your cousins or uncles or just somebody, even if you've got a friend, and that's for anybody out here. If you know somebody got certain gifts and talents, man, we need to start supporting people. We need to start supporting their people, man.
Let's take it a little further. I don't know if you guys saw this story. I was actually visiting my parents in Alabama, and this was over the summer. And
how many white chairs was out there?
2.
Yeah,
one for me, one for you.
But I actually saw the story, and this was actually out in y'all state, in the as y'all say, the great state of Texas. It was in I think it was Fort Worth, where this guy had wrote a book, and he was in Walmart. He was having a book signing, and then one guy walked up after he realized that the man was kind of frustrated that nobody came to the table to actually I guess buy copies of his book. So he walked up to the table and asked the man what kind of book it was or whatnot, and he ended up doing like a TikTok video to help the man get sales. And the TikTok video went viral, and a lot of people, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, bought the books. And the man and the guy that actually helped this guy by going viral with his with being at Walmart with the book signing, that actually went viral where both of them made the Today Show out of New York City. I don't know if y'all remember that story or whatnot.
I don't remember that one. No, I remember that one.
Yeah, that was just recently. That was over the summer.
Okay. A lot of times that's all it takes, man. That's all it takes.
It does. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing, man. Everything come at a cost, man. People it's okay. We spend money on things that we want, man. And we need to start putting money into our gifts and your talents, because you're going to get it back. I was showing Christy something a little earlier. and it's so crazy. There's this guy who it's a little story thing where this guy built this zoo, and he was charging $300 to get in the zoo, and nobody came. Then he lowered it to 200. Nobody came. 100. Nobody came. 50, 25. Nobody came. He said, "Okay, you can come for free." Everybody came, right? So as everybody got to the doors, he locked the front gate. And then when he locked the front gate, then he let the lions out. And he said, the only way you can get out is you pay $500.
You gotta pay to get out of here.
And then everybody paid the $500.
Hey,
And the moral of the story was, you go nothing in life is free, and you pay for the things you really want. You don't want to get eaten, you pay that $500.
hey, and you know a greater key to that whole thing. You gotta learn how to pivot.
Exactly.
You gotta learn how to pivot.
Everything ain't free, you know. That's how
Either I'm gonna get you coming, I'm gonna get you going. Either way.
You gonna pay either way. So that was just an illustration of life, right? Because every time everybody always think that if you have to pay for something, pay for an opportunity to better your gift or what you have, they won't jump at it. But if it's free, you know, everybody, okay, you know, oh, it's free, let me run at it. But everything ain't. Life gonna cost you something. Ain't nothing free. Let me tell you something. Air ain't free. Water ain't free. You know, even if you dating somebody, that's cost you something. It's gonna cost you something.
It's gonna cost
Going
you
to
something.
church ain't free. You take gas to get there. You got to pay Wi-Fi if you watch it on the internet. You want to watch your word on the internet, you gotta have electricity, Wi-Fi. Ain't nothing free. You know what I'm saying? So it's breaking the mental barriers, man.
It's very interesting because you know we was talking about as far as you know that thing that comes easy to you.
Right.
You know, try to find a way to get funds for that. You know what I'm saying? Try to find a way to get funds. I look at athletes and I look at a person like a Deion Sanders. His passion was for baseball, but he was better at football. His gift was football.
And that's something.
You know what I mean? But because Shannon Sharp asked him one time, like, man, which was harder? You know, playing baseball or playing football? He's like, baseball. He said, man, that ball be doing some things.
Yep.
So that ball coming at you, that ball be doing some things. He said, football, that was easy. That was easy. And the position that he played, you would not think that that's easy.
Yeah.
Right.
You playing corner. Man, you had to study your opponent on every play.
And he got it. That's a crazy thing.
And he got it.
And then on top of that, you know, baseball season came during football season.
Right.
Yeah.
Close toward the tail end, and he had to juggle both of them.
Yes. Yes. And think about it, man. He could have easily, by the time he retired football, he could have still went out there and played baseball.
But don't forget
went out there.
That's something y'all just said something that's real important that a lot of people need to hear, right? A lot of people tend to juggle their passion and their gift.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? And just like you get a Deion Sanders, you got to know the difference. Your passion is the thing that you may have a passion for, but you're not good at. You weren't good at baseball. Your gift is the thing that has the least amount of effort. That's what Steve Harvey said in the video. The thing that you do with the least amount of effort. Like I majored in English, minored in mass communication, you know, radio, television, film with Jay. And so for me, I can write a paper like it was nothing. Like 250 words on a page, that's nothing for me to write. I've literally had a paper due on that same day. I went in the library an hour before class and wrote the whole paper. Right? Where it might take somebody else a week to research and do all that other stuff, right? but I knew that was my gift in writing and speaking, and that was my gift. You see what I'm saying? And I love football. I have a passion for football, right? Or basketball. But I'm not LeBron James. I ain't Steph Curry. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just because I go to the Y and I hoop with some dudes and I might put up 5 points. That don't mean I'm gonna go I'm trying for the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Like but there are people who do that, and they take their passion and just run for years and they get frustrated. And your gift is all the way over here. The thing you've been doing with ease. That constantly. So that's something you just want to point out, y'all, when we're talking, that your passion is the passion that you have for the thing that you have. If it's not working for you, it's not your gift. That you can have a passion for it. Like I still love watching football, basketball, love playing it. But that's not my passion. That's my passion, but that's not my gift.
Right.
So, and whoever watching this, man, know the difference. Okay. Make sure you are tapping into your gift. The thing that you do with the least amount of effort. Everybody has a gift. It is biblical. Everybody got some kind of a gift. And you got to figure out what that is. What are you good at? That's really what your gift is. The thing that you're really, really good at. That's your gift.
Is that thing, when they talk about a hidden talent, is that possibly what they're actually speaking of? I know, you got hidden talents and then you got weird talents. You got talents that
weird talents is the passion part. You got some talent that don't make no sense.
Stuff that don't make no sense. Like, bro,
no.
You pull that talent out at parties and everybody just being discussed, what the world are you doing? Like, it's my hidden talent. Nah, that's a weird talent, bro. But it is what it is. Yeah.
You don't want the hidden talent. We want a talent that you can showcase that you're good at.
It's usually that thing that nobody looked at you and thought that. That's something that you do. You know what I mean?
You're right.
Yeah, I mean, man, all through school, I was a person that, I came from a musical family. Everybody in my family sings.
Mm.
Myself, I never saw myself as a singer.
Mm.
I always, I don't know what this is about me, but I've always been a person that I love to harmonize rather than leading a song. You know what I mean? Because I'm looking at the background of everything is just as important as the person that's up front.
Okay.
So it's just like I look at what Christy does. We joke, we tell her, but I mean, it's true. Yeah, she the producer. She the producer of this thing.
She really is.
You know what I mean?
And it takes her. We won't be able to do all this stuff, background stuff. I mean, y'all, if you see how she does it, man, it'll take me weeks or months to do what she did. Like
and it's nothing to her.
Right.
It's nothing for her to come up with it, to take what somebody says and to put and when it's presented back to that person, like, man, that's exactly what I was thinking. That's talent, to look in somebody, to tap into who somebody is and then to put it out there for them, because they possibly couldn't express it. What Jay does with the writing, it's what a lot of people want to say but can't put it together.
Right.
You know what I mean? But he has a gift to do that kind of thing.
Exactly.
With you, Chi, with being able to put people together, never met each other, to be able to real talk. So that's a gift, bro. That is a actual gift. Is you're able to bring people from different backgrounds, different things, and bring people together, and able to actually have people to actually come together and talk about something and
that,
not argue, not get upset with each other,
and have different opinions, and just be
you know what I
kindred
mean?
spirits, man. It's a spiritual
It's
thing, though. I really believe that.
it's a very spiritual thing, and
Right.
and you know what I mean. But you're tapping into it. You know what I'm saying? Me myself, I'm still on the path of not necessarily the passion, but the purpose.
Okay.
Just trying to find. You know what I'm saying? Because I love a bunch of stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
And a lot of times that can be the thing that holds you up from your
Back.
actual
Yeah.
purpose
Yeah.
because you love so many things. You're probably good at a lot of different things, but what is that one thing
That you're great at.
that you can tap into, and that thing would actually open up the avenues for all those others.
Right.
That's where I'm at.
What is
Because
the thing that you're
what
great
we
at? That's the thing. Like, what is the
that's the
thing that you
thing.
just right?
And see, the problem is a lot of times not listening to other people when they're telling you what, man, you good at that.
Right.
You're good at that.
Then
You
there it is.
overlook it. You overlook it a lot of times because once again, in your upbringing or you're not being around the right people at times to be able to not hate on you, but actually tell you what you're good at.
Yeah.
A lot of times you gotta read the room. A lot of times, man. Hey, man, I don't think there's a lot of people that's in here for me. I need to
It's
get out of
crazy.
here and change my environment. I need to change where I ain't gonna say change my environment, change my location. Because you
Well,
yourself should be able to change the environment. However you are, should be able to affect in
well,
fact,
I heard
you
something,
know.
and I'm gonna just share it with you with that. To hear what you're saying, Chris. The higher
Mhm.
the discernment, the lower the deception.
Ah, yeah,
The higher the discernment, the
yeah.
lower chance of deception, right? And I
And
went through the same crazy
young
thing when I
people
was trying to figure out for
young people
college.
need that
Yeah,
when it's
big
come down for
time.
relationships.
Oh yeah, many people need that,
Many
but,
people.
but
I ain't gonna just say young people because there's some old people that's still out
old people
there.
need that.
They
But
still ain't
I
figured it
had
out.
battled. I'm going to tell you a true story, man. I battled Chris Tatus. I battled my major in college, and I did not know what to major in. And I loved a bunch of different things, right? Kinesiology, as Jay said. I like, you know what I'm saying? I like sports. Um, I liked, television, film, radio. I liked, you know, communications, English. I mean, it was like a ton of things that I can do. And
Mhm.
I'm like, what do I need to, but I need to major in one of them. And so I had to try and figure out which is which. And my wife and I, right now we've been kind of figuring out some things because we have been conditioned in life that you have to pick one or the other in so many
Right.
different things you want to do. And so at that time, I was fighting that, like, which one do I pick? And God spoke to me and He told me how to do it. He said, you could do both. That's why
Right.
you have a major and a minor. You
Right.
could do both. And in life, you can do both, right? And they coincide with each other, right? Majored in English, minored in radio, television, film, communication. All of that go hand in hand. You still got to write all the stuff, write your scripts down, write your storylines, write down content. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? It all goes hand in hand.
Right.
So you don't have to, I say that to say for you or anybody that it could be more than one thing that
Mhm.
has an overall, circumference into your total gift,
Yeah.
right? So it's not
Yeah.
just one thing. Because see, what you ran into is what I did. It's so I had like a plethora of things, and it's like I'm trying to narrow down to this one thing to say, okay, there it is. And it wasn't
Yeah.
just that,
Yeah.
right? Before I get to
Yeah.
that, it was like four things that came together, four different pieces that came together to form this one puzzle, right? To say, okay,
Right.
boom. Because Chrissy does that. She's great. She's great at marketing. She's great at digital media. She's great at different things. So even my wife was having, what do I do? How do I do things? And I said, don't narrow yourselves. And even now I'm learning that. Because why can't we do both? Right? Why can't we do Steve Harvey don't just do comedy. You get what I'm saying? He does radio, he does television, he does all in line with the gift. You see what I'm saying?
The reason is because one thing he's good at, and that's talking.
Talking, and it led to everything.
He's good at talking. He can go from a serious moment to a laughable moment.
Right.
Just right off the rip. He's not a person that was good at movies. Him being in movies, he wasn't that good at that. But he can do TV shows. Right. It's just that simple with him. You know what I mean? I look at the one thing that we knew Shannon Sharp for, period, was football and fitness. We knew that.
But if you watch
the one thing that we always knew, man, this dude talked too much.
He was a showmanship. He put on a show for you. Shannon
he always put on a show. But we was like, man, even NFL films. That's the one thing he's like, man, somebody call the president because we are down here killing the Patriots. You know what I mean? We saw that. And I know all of us probably thought, man, this dude will probably be real good on TV.
Right. Deion Sanders, prime time. He talked a bunch of stuff.
Look at this. This man was, I mean, maybe in the top 2 of the best defensive players ever to play this game on defense.
Right.
And this man coaches offense.
Yeah, let that sink in. But he stayed in the sport. You know what I'm saying? He stayed in his gift.
Hey, let's take it a little further. We on this word purpose tonight.
Yeah.
He was passionate about sports. That's also his purpose now as being a coach. And we all can go back. This is in the book as well, Moving Past Your Pain. I did talk about Deion in the book. So if we were to go
talk about that book, man. We need to talk about that book too. We do a show on that. We get hit a lot of these topics too. But go ahead, Jeff.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So if we were to go back to his time at Jackson State, we all know that he had his own team in Dallas.
I was going to ask, do I need to get my incense out? Because every time we mention Jackson State.
So Jackson State, he had his team prep. I think it was called Deion Prep Academy, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
It was in Dallas, and that's when he ended up getting the call from Jackson State to take over their football program. He changed the whole culture. That changed the whole climate in Jackson, Mississippi. His whole purpose was to do that, but if we were to just put ourselves in his shoes as being a head coach, coaching an HBCU, and then you got a D1 Power 5 coming knocking on the door.
Right.
And we all know that it's more money, and we know money talk. And even with the things that he did at Jackson State with his own money, and he had a uphill battle of trying to get more people to invest into what he was trying to do. He was the first black head coach to have college game day at a HBCU.
Yep.
Also, he changed the whole culture with how they went about practice. He had a lot of publicity around Jackson State.
Recruiting.
Yeah, and he even had I think it was Michael Strahan, Good Morning America, Jackson State. And then he also changed the whole culture with how most HBCU campuses athletically from the football side. He changed the practice field. He changed the locker room. He changed how they went about team meetings and stuff. He did all of that.
Right.
Not from Jackson State resources, but from his resources.
Right.
And he did everything for Jackson State. But when Colorado started knocking on the door, he had to, check it out, and he
Right.
had to see which program was best suitable for him. Auburn came knocking at on the door.
I remember that.
Also, I think it was South Florida came knocking on the door, and
See,
then
that's not mentioned a lot.
yeah,
That's not mentioned a lot. I
yeah,
did not know about Auburn.
yeah. Auburn
That's
came.
not mentioned a lot.
Yeah, yeah. There was the they had fired well, not Chiswick.
Brian Harson, previous head,
Right, right. There you go. Yes.
and they was looking for a head coach. And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, every time I got on the blog and started reading up on who the next head coach potentially may be, Dion's name kept popping up.
Yep.
And I knew that the culture at Auburn that probably wouldn't fit well for Dion.
No, no.
Yeah.
And when Colorado offered him, and he was speaking with his agent trying to see if that was a good fit, then he spoke with the AD at Colorado, and after he felt comfortable with the AD, he accepted the position. And this was like tail end. I think this was like after they had the SWAC championship, and
Right.
they ended up
Mm-hmm.
winning the SWAC championship, and then he ended up going on catching the flight to Colorado. I think they had a press conference of him being introduced
Right.
as head coach the next day, and then
Right.
he got all these not death threats, but all these hate
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
hate
Yeah.
speeches and hate podcasts from people in Jackson and surrounding areas, talking about that he would never leave. He said he was here for good. But you got to understand, when a Power 5 come knocking and more money, ain't nobody gonna turn that down.
Right. Right.
Right. Exactly. Most people, and that's the thing, man. Most people don't know if they got the same opportunity, they would do the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
My thing is for a lot of those people that were upset at the fact that he left. Before he came, where were you?
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
Were you at the games?
There you go.
Were you cheering them on?
Did
Were
you
were
pour
you
into
were,
them?
were you
Exactly.
posting it on social media?
Yeah.
Buying tickets to the
No.
games? Nothing.
The reason why you came was because he came.
Okay. Yep. There it is.
And the reason why you're gonna go watch Colorado is because he's there.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
I'm watching
Let's be
Colorado.
honest. You're gonna watch Colorado, but the sad part about it is that you're gonna have a lot of people watching Colorado because you want him to fail.
Yep. That's
Not
unfortunate.
not thinking about the fact that if you want him to fail, that means those kids are failing.
Exactly. And they didn't even understand what Dion was saying. He said he created a pipeline for a
Yeah.
lot of kids out of some HBCUs that could
Yeah.
transfer easier.
Yeah.
Them dudes from HBCUs, they try to go to Ohio State or Michigan or some of the other schools. It's almost impossible. You're going from a D2 to a D. You know what I'm saying? You go from a HBCU to a top conference team, but somebody like Dion is saying, "Hey, come to the transfer portal. I got a spot for you."
Yeah. And one thing
Easier.
again too, a lot of those people that worry about their kids, right? You don't think he worried about his?
Yeah.
His son a quarterback. His other son is a safety.
Mm-hmm.
His oldest son left a Power 5 to come to Jackson State
Mm-hmm.
to support his father.
Mm-hmm.
Let's think about that.
Right.
Now he didn't graduate it. I still got a year of eligibility. Let me go back to a Power 5 so that I can at least work in order to try to get drafted.
Yeah.
Right.
My older brother didn't get drafted. Maybe I can get drafted. And then my younger brother is the truth, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's the Shador? I forgot his name, man. He a monster. He a QB. Yeah, he a beast.
But
Yeah.
how
Sure.
high would his draft status be at Jackson State? Everything would come into question.
It was.
It's gonna be questioned. Well, he didn't see no real
competition and all that.
competition and this and that. He's not the body type. He's not the all
Typical
that kind of stuff is
QB.
gonna
Right.
come up.
Right.
And
You know what I mean? And I look at I ain't gonna lie to you. I look at him and his skill set. It almost mirrors CJ Stroud
mhm.
because he's not a person that wants to just take off running. He wants to throw that ball down the field.
Yeah. He can put some work in. I mean, he
And
can do it. They showed a couple
he ain't got
practice
no
matches.
choice. He ain't got no choice. But what it is that a lot of people really gonna be shocked. They're gonna be shocked at how well Dion can actually coach, how well Dion can actually bring kids together, and how well it's gonna be some kids coming out of Colorado within the next couple of years that we're gonna be talking about for a little
Oh
while.
yeah, absolutely. And
And
that's the
it's
thing, right? You know,
yeah,
it's just going back to what we're talking about tonight, right? Your purpose, right? You finding a purpose, not confusing your passion for your purpose.
right,
You know,
right,
understanding that your purpose is attached to your gift, and you could love a million different things. Excuse
yeah,
me. By the end of the day, you got to find that your gift. That's
yeah,
what you need to be working on. That's what you spend money on, right? That's what you need to start investing in. And if you're not sure what it is, probably got to reveal it to you. And you'd be surprised, man. You know, you'll be able to, you know, you're watching TV one day, or you can be driving somewhere one day, and it just hits you. You know, like man,
right,
you know, okay. And then they'll say you
right,
try it out, you test. You know, so it don't have to be no big old thing, but
man.
you know, if you have a desire for that in your life, man, you know, anybody's watching, you have a desire for that. We're getting ready to wrap up here. We'll be back on Thursday. You know, but if you have a desire in your life and you don't know which way direction to go, you know, pray about it. But more importantly, you look at your life, look at the things that you really enjoy, things that you're really passionate about, but you're good at. Things like Chris said, people tell you that you're good at. People see those things. You know, ask somebody
Right.
that's close to you, man. You know, ask somebody that your wife, your friends, ask somebody, man, what do you see me? You know what I'm saying, man? What is anything I do really, really well? And they're like, man, you make the best pudding in the world. Well, guess what? Last time I checked the grocery stores, a bunch of people got good pudding.
Right, right,
They'll pay
right.
top dollar for it.
And man, it is a blessing to go to HEB and see that little girl on that lemonade. You know what I mean? She had a passion about it, bro. I think it's called B something. I wish I could say it on here, but I said the next time we all together.
Okay.
But she this right here, she started right here in Siena.
And now she's in the
So
grocery stores. Look at that.
she in the grocery stores. You know what I'm saying? She had a little passion about something. Her parents
Lemonade
backed her on it,
stand. There it is.
and
It's the voices.
there it is. So my man, I'd say one gift I have, man, is my wife. She is a gift to me.
Yeah.
And she is a person that she has so many talents, and you know what I mean, and just I don't think it's a fear of tapping into it. Sometimes it's just time
Right.
to tap into it. But
And it's just,
man,
but you understand that is amazing.
yeah,
You know?
and I understand it.
Right.
So my thing is to be able to push her because I know that she's gonna push me.
Right.
To
And once you know
go
that,
into my
like I always
yeah,
tell that, and when I would do this all the time, I always talk about it. You know, my wife is the one that put this whole thing together. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Without my wife backing me, like people don't understand. I don't have a lot of things. I'm not where I'm at without the support my wife shows me. She comes on every show. If she's, you know what I mean, she jumps on it if I want to jump on air. She always support me.
right,
But one thing I always have to realize for her as well is that I always tell her this: I want you to have your gift, your purpose, the thing that you
yeah,
want to do as well. I
yeah.
don't. Your job ain't just to support me and the things I want to do. I
Facts,
want to do the same for you. You know what I'm saying? I
facts,
want to be your
facts.
cheerleader. You know, so give me the opportunity to do that for you. So that goes to everybody in life. You know what I mean? And they just take. You got to be able to say,
Yeah,
okay, you know what? Because you blessed me, You know, when it's your season, when it's your turn, whatever that time comes, I'm dropping everything and I'm rocking with you. You know what I'm saying?
And understand something too. And I said this because I do this. Do not hesitate or be afraid to actually step out there up front.
Yep.
Don't all it's cool to be supportive, but your life don't have to be playing the background.
Right. God got a
Even
purpose.
even if you're back there, be the head one that's pushing
Look,
this thing.
Steven Spielberg ain't never acted in a movie. He one of the best producers, and we know
There
him
you
by
go.
name. He a
There you
billionaire.
go. There you
Yeah.
go. You know what I'm
Ain't
saying?
in acted in one movie.
Right. And I said that because I know that's one of my things, man. And I had someone to actually speak that over my life and say, hey, this person never met me. Like you are a person that usually supports everybody else. But it's a point in time to where you're gonna have to step up and be
Got
out
to.
there on you.
My wife
So
and I had that
that's
discussion
why
all the
that's
time.
right. So that's exactly why I say that. You know what I mean? We can't be. It's cool to sing in the background, man. At one point in time, somebody gonna push you up there.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
we can all ride Mike's coattail. Them Jacksons. Hey, look at
Yeah.
Tito and
You know what I
Randy.
mean?
Come on now. Tito and Randy ain't dropping nothing. They don't know
You
nothing
know what
they
I'm saying?
singing. They just like my last name is Jackson, and I'm gonna get these royalty checks. That's all we've
Yeah.
been doing.
Jay,
But
I
man,
don't have your book, man. I need to get your book,
yeah,
bro.
we got a new book. Jay,
I
put
don't
it
have
back
your
up
book,
again,
man.
man. And we're gonna do a whole show on that book. Hold on, I can't see it.
Bring it to the
Bring it
side.
up.
There
Okay,
it
there you
is.
go. Moving past your pain. This is the third series, right?
Yeah, it's
I
my
got two.
third
Yeah, I got
book.
the other two.
It's my third book.
Third book, right. So
Third
the other
book. Yes,
two.
sir.
And so we're gonna do some shows on that, y'all. I think that's another thing too. All these topics we talk about, we have people who are gifted and talented in the family. We're gonna do some other things too, so stay tuned. But we're getting ready to wrap up here, y'all. You know, the family in the house, my brothers, man, I love y'all. Thanks for all y'all for just stepping in here with me, rocking with me.
Yes,
My
sir.
amazing wife for always supporting me, always doing all this background stuff that you see here. You know, so she's amazing for doing that. And everybody who tune in, take time out of your busy schedule and to join the show and everything, man. Look, God bless y'all, man. We love y'all. And we stay tuned. You know, we're gonna be doing it again on Thursday. And it's Thoughtful Thursday, so that's where we play a bunch of different clips and we talk about it and we talk about different things that you know. I don't know what we're talking about, but we talk all kind of crazy stuff. Whatever come up, you know, we're gonna be current event.
Yeah.
But we're gonna be doing that, y'all. So Thursday, stay tuned, join in.
We're gonna talk about swimming because that young man needs to be in the Olympics.
It's so stupid. Hey man, we out of here, man. God bless y'all. We love y'all, man.
God bless y'all. Pray for me. I pray for you.
Yeah, it is. We out of here. Peace.